So I wanted to touch on the hard truth here. If you're looking to get recruiting clients, this is the tough love you're going to need that's going to help you get results and get you clients that are going to help you get you paid. Over the past few years, I've worked with a lot more recruiters and I've noticed a lot of trends. Everybody has different equations in the way that they are driving cash into their business. And for myself, it's been the same. I've worked on different models within my recruiting business. So model one was having a lot of roles available, having a large pipeline, a lot of clients. There have been months where I've been very hot. There have been months where I've been very cold. Could be anywhere 5 placements a month, which is great. Other models have been smaller pipelines, working on a smaller amount of roles and still making around the same amount of placements and getting paid more for my time. Also, I've done contract roles. You've heard me talk about that before. And I've seen other recruiters be everywhere in between from here. But the point is mainly that not all clients are the same. So you have client A here. There's just a couple examples. 10 employees are located in India. They're trying to break into the United States market. They're under market for salary and there's no office in the United States yet. Client B, 30 employees, US-based startup. They have $8 million in funding. They have the health benefits. They have no 401k. Salary is competitive, but it's a hybrid role. So they need to be in the office 2 days a week and remote. So that means you are recruiting from a pool that has to be local, and they're hiring 3 marketing roles. Client C, 120 employees, US-based AI company, very cutting edge. Series C, 125 million was just raised. Notable investors that worked with Uber and all the big names and have a good success rate, and they have all remote roles, and they have 14 roles they need help on from you. So this is obviously the most ideal client out of the 3, and there's a lot of different variables involved, but you can say once you start to work with client C, you're going to have a higher likelihood to actually make a placement. And the reason is candidates. A lot of candidates, if it's under market in terms of salary and it's a small company, this is a huge risk. And these are made up percentages, by the way. It's just based on intuition with clients I've worked with. They're not going to love this clients. And you want to obviously get more clients that give you this percentage rate of 33% into your pipeline. The sales pipeline for any software company or any company for that matter, what does that actually mean? So step 1, initiate the conversations with decision makers. You pitch them. The pipeline is you have 25 people that are interested that you've already pitched. You follow up, you have a couple more meetings, you negotiate, and then you close the deal. So you have 5 deals that are closed this month. Cash comes into the business, and then the service is delivered after you get that cash. With recruiting, these last 2 steps are absolutely flipped. So take a look at this. After the pipeline is built, you've had these conversations, then you have to deliver the recruiting services. So that means if you have a lot of roles in your pipeline, you have to either allocate your employees or you have to do the recruiting yourself. And if you are a solopreneur recruiter, that means you are doing the work at least in the beginning of your business. And just a visual of a couple examples of pipelines. You have pipeline 1, and this is very often early stage recruiting businesses. Maybe they have 25 roles they've closed. They've used a lot of automation, and they've really just signed any client they can into their pipeline. But a lot of them are low percentage. So they have all A's and B's. And then other pipelines. This is what I'm always trying to build. I'm going after whales. I'm going deeper into the ideal clients I want to work with. So when I do get to that point of delivering services, everything that I'm doing, all the movements that I'm making, all the recruiting is going to have a higher percentage to get me those placements, and I'm getting paid a lot more per hour. So with those great clients, you have to understand there's going to be more recruiting competition. When they just raised $120 million, everybody knows that. They see the announcements and recruiters want to work with them. Software companies want to sell them stuff. HR companies, you name it, everybody from finance, every single department is trying to sell the decision makers on buying their stuff. And with recruiting, this is the ideal situation for recruiters to get into. So you're really competing here. These are companies that have better luck with inbound, with job boards, and they also have these budget conversations. I've been internal with these clients. They talk about the budget, even though down here, solving the hiring problem is objective number 1, but budget is a factor. For one engineer, it may cost them 45 grand. They make 25 hires on average of 40 to 50K per, senior software engineer, whatever. It's going to be over $1 million. So this conversation internally is always going to move into yes, we can use agencies now, but we need to slowly start to diversify, get somebody internal, maybe use contractors, find other ways to not pay the 45 grand per hire. So they're always going to move in that direction. And for me, with the fee conversation is you can get creative with your fee. You don't have to be 25, 35% all the time. You can give them like a prorated discount. So maybe you start at 25 and with each hire, they pay a little bit less. Or you can maybe take money up front and just charge less and reward them for investing in you. The hard truth here is most don't know what it requires to actually get great clients or clients in general. They don't do the business development that is necessary to get them to the point where they can have predictable cash coming into their business. And persistence is very important. Sales reps at recruiting agencies that are just focused on sales, or even those that have full desks, they're doing the 50 to 75 personalized touches per day. They're doing what it takes to cut through the noise of said company C, of all the recruiters going after them, all the recruiting software AI, all the recruiting RPOs, all the finance, everybody's gunning after those companies, and you have to cut through that noise one way or the other. So that extra effort is going to be important. But for those that rely on automation, at the very least, you have to improve what's going on with your sales automation. By the way, the personalization stuff, picking up the phone, I'm talking about video messaging, just even personalized emails where it's obvious a human is typing those emails is very important. And also there's branding. What is the message that you're sending with all of your pages, with your website? Do you look like you're a legit recruiter? Does it look like you take care of business? Do you have the testimonials? Does it really look like you are going to solve their damn problem? And you need to raise your status in little ways, just tactics that you say on the phone, just the way that your language is coming across. Do you demand respect from those decision makers? All very important when they are looking for an outcome. And the big truth is most recruiters are not going to do a lot of these things. They're just not. And the reason is they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't see the potential outcome from planting seeds and doing the work. And yes, the first 2 weeks of you doing your cold calls or video messaging or just typing notes doesn't get you anything besides a couple of maybes and no's. And it looks like it's not working. But when you're in a sales role, for anybody that's gotten that base salary and you're paid to show up to work every day, you always start cold with your pipeline. But you keep going because you're getting paid. And then 3 months later, the chips start to fall. Those relationships develop in the business, and those closes start to come. You get those contracts. And that's what you need to do. You got to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you got to keep doing the work. At the very least, when we're talking about automation here, there's a spectrum of generic all the way to personalized and targeted. This is what we're trying to mimic, is personalization and being targeted. Obviously, we can just build any list today and not be strategic. Just say, hey, I'm recruiting. I saw you're hiring. I saw you had a couple roles. Can I work on those, and can we connect? All the way over to, hey, Jim, I saw your tweet on the New York Jets. I just sent you a signed jersey to help you get through the next few weeks. Saw Aaron Rodgers got injured. Hope your team finds a quarterback. Also, you got to check out this restaurant in New York City. I saw you're located here. Thought you might find that interesting. By the way, I saw you're hiring for sales reps in New York City, and they need closing experience with enterprise healthcare systems. We have a huge pipeline of those that have that 8 years of experience, that also have that Salesforce experience that you're looking for. Can I send over a couple profiles? By the way, I sent one that would be a great fit. It's attached. Let me know what you think and if this is a fit. Those are obviously going to have a higher rate of responses and higher return. And what you're trying to do with all of your automation is just inch closer to this personalization and get more targeted, whether it's the location stuff, whether it's with companies or size of companies, with the persona of the individual. You got to get more targeted. And we'll talk about in the membership. I have a video. And in the membership, I have a video coming out next week of ways that you can scale this and get more personalization and creativity to really cut through the noise and catch their attention and initiate those conversations. Outside of the automation, I still do the work. I still believe in this, in doing the hyper-personalized work for companies you really want to work with, planting the seeds and being patient with it and staying persistent. And here's a video that I sent along to one CEO of a company, I think they had 40 employees. Had his picture here from LinkedIn, had his name, had the roles that he's hiring for, and I sent this video. It's very targeted. I talk about the roles. I talk about who I would go and find. And yeah, even the no's are great, the response rates. And you do 5 to 10 of these a day, you're going to start to see good responses, and you're going to start to build a very good pipeline with clients that you actually want to work with and clients that have a high likelihood to actually pay you at the end of the day. So for members, go and check out that video. It's going to be out on Monday. We're going to go deep into more personalization stuff, how to scale this, and how to just pick up your numbers with the sales process.